really know what's going on over there other than everybody's dumb.
The instant you step out of line, you say something that they don't like and they don't like you personally, they're going to use all those pre-existing laws and they're going to use it on you.
Woman exposed her male genitalia to women and underage girls. That's what happened.
It's pure propaganda and it's super cringe, by the way. It's super cringe.
And I, best of friends, rebelnews.com, TatumReport.com. How are you, Eric? We're waiting for comedian Michael Ridley. Once I see his video, I'll bring him in.
Yeah, dude, I found a gray hair this week, so I'm not doing too good.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Welcome to my life. Am I light okay? I look, or am I'm just this pale anyways. Already demonetized as soon as the video goes up. I'd like everybody to know.
Why? What do we do?
I don't know. Bill Burr and book banning is in the title. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but requesting review. Thanks to everybody listening on Spotify, Apple, and maybe Google. I think it's on now. And then, of course, everybody. There's Michael Ridley. Let's see if we can get him in here now.
Oh, no, it's in color now.
There he is.
Later, dude. I got it sorted. Let's get it.
What's up, bro?
Comedian Michael Ridley, how are you?
Boomer. I'm a boomer.
Let's put him in the middle.
What's good?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Ooh, just had some technical difficulties. I don't have like a nice computer, so I came over to my buddy's house and got it. Like I'm on his like super dope gaming streaming setup at his house right now.
What is that you're drinking?
Fucking Topo Chico, baby.
I have no idea what that is.
So
Where
this
do you
is
live?
like the White Claw of Austin, Texas.
I just saw those for the first time at the like a week ago. Like I don't know,
yeah.
they just popped up overnight, bro. Kind of like yeah, I guess like White Claw. Like just one day everybody's drinking those.
The bird scooter of drinks. Just
So I saw Michael on an episode of Kill Tony, a comedian down there, and I just thought you were hilarious, man. So I reached out, and especially your brazenness with the mullet and the racial epithets and everything you're doing, I'm a fan
Thank
of
you.
Immediately. So
Thank
I had
you,
to
brother.
follow him and ask him. Thank
Hell
you.
So
Thank
maybe
you,
it's
man.
your name that's getting us demonetized immediately. If you're, if they know you've been saying some racialized things at a comedy show, that's definitely enough to get us demonetized. But whatever, worth it. Susan can kiss it.
Exactly. We've already been. I don't know. We were the worst we've had so far is what, a week suspension on this on my channel. I think.
Oh, yeah. What did we say that time? Something about the juice. I forget.
Probably, yeah. It was
matter.
It was showing one of the vaccine commercial, like the Stephen Colbert vaccine thing. I think. I don't know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
hard to tell anymore.
copyright strike for playing
Right.
the Colbert clip. Got it. Hilarious.
Yeah, you can't be
Who now,
doing that.
for the record, has Rona, right? Did you see that tweet? Colbert, who has been triple, quadruple vaxxed, whatever, quite literally made a propaganda minute filled of dancing syringes. He's got it. And he's so thankful that he got it. It saved him. He would have died otherwise. We all know that. So this is insane, bro. I can't believe it.
They just extended the mask mandate for certain places here up in lovely Ontario, Canada.
Oh,
Actually,
nice.
it's so for old age homes, hospitals, doctors' offices, and a couple other things. And then the guy who was announcing it said, you should probably get your 4th and 5th shots as well. So
I've gotten COVID 4 times and I have no shots.
that's impressive.
That's what I'm saying.
One of my friends just got it. He's got 2 shots, I believe, because his mother was sick. So I kind of get that, but how's it working for you now?
I don't know, bro. I'm just chilling. Like, I don't know. My wife got the shot. So I think we're just going to do this long-term experiment where I'm going to continue to exist with pure semen, and she'll have her vaccine, and she's always feeling like shit. So I don't know, dude. I'm worried. I'm like low-key worried about it. Like I was a little pissed off. When she got it because I didn't trust it. But we'll see what happens in like 40 years. Maybe she'll like lose an ear or some shit. Or I don't know, dude. I just think I have a natural immunity. I'm half Filipino, so I got like that jungle Asian blood in my body. I was just born with the antibodies. I never get sick, dude. I never get sick. And when I got COVID, dude, it was like hardcore. Like I thought I was gonna die. I was scared to sleep. and then I got it again, and it was like a cough for like 2 or 3 days. But the first time it was like 2 weeks of hell. Like it sucked. But I don't think it would warrant anybody to. I don't think a vaccine is like. I don't know. I wouldn't get vaccinated after that. I was like, oh, I just had the flu. Like it just felt like a really shitty flu, dude.
Whatever I
vaccines are
had,
perfect. They work like
that's
a charm.
true. Joe Biden
I
is
get
the
one
greatest
every
president
week,
of all
bro.
time.
Yeah, Joe Biden's
Gotta subscribe to YouTube's. Whatever I had, and a couple of my coworkers had it as well. It was something that lasted 12 hours. Body aches, headache, feeling really weak. I don't know what it was, but it could have been malaria. Could have been, could have been anything. I have to stop
Dirty
myself before I get
mosquitoes,
too
dude.
ridiculous. The title track today is about Bill Burr making fun of Canada, and there's going to be, I'm sorry for you guys, a couple Canadian things in this episode today. I know you guys hate Canada and everything it stands for, but let's see what Bill Burr had to say about Canadians on some Red Sox broadcast. It's going to work.
This is what you're supposed to do. Although I got to tell you, Toronto talking trash really kind of lit a fire. Like it's really bugging me.
Yeah. Ooh, they got some rough fans too up in the Rogers Center.
Well, that's a confident group over there.
Toronto?
They get nasty. And that bullpen.
Toronto.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, if you're down there,
we're gonna go. We'll go out to the right field one time.
Yeah, Toronto. Actually, Canada in general is low-key hostile. You know what I mean? They try to act like they're the best white people. You know? There were people here before you got here, so get off your high horse.
Bill, thank you so much for the visit. Wonderful. Look forward to the show coming up on Sunday.
Is that how you guys feel about Canadians? As POCs?
All I know is when I was in college, this was many years ago, they told me to pretend I was Canadian because the native Spaniards didn't like Americans. I still don't know if that was true. So
Where is that?
I was in, dude, this was like, I'm not gonna let you guys know exactly how old I am, but it was a long time ago. I was in Madrid, Spain, and some people told us to pretend we were Canadian because for whatever reason the Spaniards didn't like Americans. I don't know if that's true. It probably is not true. It's just weird propaganda because now I realize that the anti-American propaganda goes way deeper than what I initially thought. It's like, oh, people hate Donald Trump, but this has been happening for many years, and they try to pretend like Canada is. I guess Canadians are a little bit more polite, but that's why you guys dealt with these stupid mask mandates and juice
More
mandates
agreeable.
for you more agreeable than the Americans. Like you know what we do down here. There's a gun hiding behind every blade of grass.
Yeah.
So try it.
Michael, you ever been to Canada?
Huh?
You ever been to Canada?
No, I've only been to Japan. I've never been out of the country other than that. I've only been to Japan, dude. I don't know, dude. 2016, Bernie bro, Michael Ridley wanted to move to Canada really bad. And now 2022, center right Michael Ridley is more like, I'm kind of glad that I'm moving to Texas. Like it used to be like, we're going this way. Now I'm going, I want to go west.
But they pushed a lot of people, right? You're not the only person to be like Bernie bro, 5 or 6 years ago. Like that.
But cut to the Joe Rogan where Kanye was on, and he's talking about that, where it's like they'd rather lose, you know what I mean? They'd rather risk losing to Trump than, which I mean, yeah, I did end up getting like, if anything, it was the Democrats who radicalized me to the middle, which makes you the right now.
Yeah.
So it's like anywhere that's not all the way over here, you know what I mean? You're over there. You're conservative, and I mean, I made a video of me voting for Trump and everything as a joke that I'm like still scared to post. I literally went to the polls with nothing in mind. I was like, I had no idea who I'm going to vote for. I was just going to write in some bullshit because my wife was going to go vote for, I don't know, independent and lose like we did 2016. I saw a can of orange soda in the parking lot. And I was like, yeah, there we go. An unopened can of orange soda just chilling in the parking lot. I was like, yeah, I got to vote for Trump, dude. So yeah, maybe it's good that like people like me don't typically vote because I literally get swung by a can of soda in the parking lot.
So what would have been the Joe Biden sign? Like a box of Depends or something? Like what?
Yeah, just like a fucking elderly
raisin.
man. Just an elderly man outside convulsing in the parking lot with shit in his drawers. Just, here's the deal. You're going to change my diaper.
The problem I had when, like, I think a lot of people thought when they were first getting into politics or even just paying attention to what Bernie Sanders was saying, that he had ideas that would help people. But then as a Canadian, he kept talking about the Canadian healthcare system, but he wasn't telling the truth about it. He acted as if we didn't have private healthcare insurance, which you can get if you want to pay $100 to $500 a month for your own private health insurance. You can.
Cheap.
Not everything is covered, like he claims. Like you still have to pay subsidized for medication. You still have to pay for ambulance rides, stuff like that. Like it's not everything's not covered. And what he's was pushing for is not the same as the Canadian system. So it was weird that he kept saying, well, Canada could do it. But Eric, you do all New Yorker accents.
Well, it's Fauci / Cuomo / Bernie. They're all the same to me. But I have a
the trillionaires and the billionaires.
The millionaires and the billionaires.
Universal healthcare.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All the girls with green hair, come to the front. Come to the front. Green hair girls. What do you want? Come sit on Santa Claus, but it's just Bernie.
Bernie Claus.
Bernie Claus. Hell
Bernie
yeah.
Claus get the healthcare. I'm curious though. Outside of politics, honest question. Outside of politics, what profession do we even remotely take seriously for an 80-year-old? Most people retire at 65.
Walmart.
But
grader.
we got Joe Biden, Pelosi, Fauci, who's the oldest of them all. Or I don't know if he's the oldest of them all, but he's older than Joe Biden, and I will give him credit because he can put together a sentence. But what else? I mean, you don't send an 80-year-old out there to teach kindergarten. You don't send an 80-year-old to teach driving lessons or even be a doctor. So I'm just genuinely curious why we're still taking these people seriously. Even Trump is too old, bro. Like 70. What is he? 75. He's starting to get there. So I'm just genuinely curious. What other profession do we take seriously at that age? How do we get here? And how do we get out of here, I guess, is a better question.
Didn't they say if Biden wins by the end of his second term, he'll be 90 something?
Yeah, bro. Like
I believe
shit, dude.
He'll end up at like 91 or something like that. How did we get here? Nobody knows.
We need a good like a mid-40s president. You know,
Yeah.
been through a first divorce. He just bought a sports car.
Yeah.
we need like the cool stepdad. We need the cool stepdad president.
Yeah,
We tried the cool prime minister. It turns out he's just an idiot. So
I mean,
it doesn't work out too
look
well.
at the rate we're going. Kanye West does not seem like that bad of a vote. I'm just saying. Right.
But he's gonna mandate like everyone who makes under 20 grand will get a pair of Yeezys, and they'll be the worst thing. You have to wear them.
We'll have to
else
wear
you're
like
offending
those. We'll have to wear those Yeezy rags, and it'll just look like this communist country of everyone wearing shitty, tattered designer clothes.
All
And
beige. It's all different.
those beige ass fucking rags that he's selling for like hundreds of dollars.
At
Yeah,
the Gap. Yeah, you'll live in his domes as well.
Yeah, and wear those weird ass fucking Yeezy slides that look like alien shoes.
True. Okay.
National anthem will be rewritten by him.
Yeah, totally.
How could you be so heartless?
But
Every
all that
morning at
said,
school.
that I mean, it might not be as bad as what we have now, dude. I mean, I'm just saying, like, everything is nothing is off the table at this point. Like, nothing is off the table. We have this old guy. He's clearly in an empty suit. Everybody knows. The only people who are still pretending that Joe Biden is actually in charge is a couple of people from CNN or MSNBC. Like, he can't even put together a sentence, and that's you. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here. It's not an exaggeration. And he's they ask him what did they ask him about Title 42 when he started talking about mask mandates? And it's like, bro, we asked you about the open border, the open southern border, and you started talking about the CDC, bro, which of course is even more insane because if you're still so scared about the virus, then you should probably close the border. But I digress. None of it makes any sense. The point is nothing is off the table at this point. We've become it's beyond parody. It is beyond parody.
I'll be the fucking president. Fuck it.
Yeah. There we go.
First Asian president. We need an Asian president. We need a young white passing Asian president. We need an Asian Obama. I'll do it. Ridley
2024.
Yeah, that's
you think you're white
you need a dumb Asian. You need a dumb Asian who can't do math to be president. He's relatable. He's fucking, he's got a white wife, pit bull. There you go. That's gonna be the
It's better than Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang, everything
my God, dude.
All of his ideas were just give away more money. And I wanted there to be, I would put him in the category of more sane Democrat leaders with him and Tulsi Gabbard. But still, when you look at his actual ideas, it's like, give everybody $1,000 a month. We'll just raise taxes. And then he had another one when he was running for governor of New York, another plan to just give people money. Or mayor, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're a businessman.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. I'm
also
from Virginia. That wouldn't work in Virginia at all. All of our taxes go directly into the pockets of the people running this place, dude. It's so bad.
Yeah, they filter every single dollar through their it's like quicksand. You think it's gonna come out like anyways, but he also played the race card when he was running for mayor in New York. I think
Nice.
it was like it's crazy too how
Nice.
Nice.
it's
His Yu-Gi-Oh race card.
the furthest left leaning places are always somehow the most racist, right? If I lived in South Dakota for a year and didn't hear one time about a angry white man who wanted to string up a black guy in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but the New York Magazine, one of these weirdo leftist publications, wrote a cartoon or something about Andrew Yang, and he's like, yeah, that's racist. When really what they were doing was they were playing on the fact that he's not from New York. So they're like, this out-of-towner comes in. I don't know where Andrew Yang is from, but New Yorkers get very territorial, right? Like, and that's why I make it 100% clear. I had some people on my Instagram lashing out at me because of my book, and they're like, you're not from here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, well, too bad, bro. You guys, and that's why I got up and left, because there's no strings attached for me here. Like, this place sucks. I'm getting out. If you're from here, that's too bad. You can stay and hang out with your family, but I'm cutting the cord because you guys, this is terrible. It's unlivable. And they called out Andrew Yang for not living in New York, and then he said, "Oh well, that was racist." And it's like, bro, you're not from New York. You want to be the mayor, and you're just going to come in and give everybody.
Let's see if I can pronounce this. Schenectady, New York.
Okay, upstate New York.
I don't believe he lives there.
Okay, well that's he should have probably said that. He was making
now
it
he's
seem
independent.
Like he has a new party, right? What is it called? The Forward Party.
I don't know. It's never going to happen, Yang. It's just not going to happen.
You're a racist.
That's true. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, though, I was watching some not Storage Wars, Pawn Stars clips on YouTube, as I'm known to do. And
Classic.
some old guy comes in saying he used to play Pokemon cards with his children. They grew up. They don't care anymore. He kept them all. Long story short, he had $290,000 worth of Pokemon cards, and whoever the leader there is, the main guy, the bald guy, who's
the
in
bald
charge,
dude,
like,
Rick Harrison.
Yeah,
he's just like, oh no, I don't want to get into this because I don't know what I'm talking about. I guarantee the guy would have accepted $250,000, just this huge profit. He's like, oh, I don't want to get into that. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like Charizard is a popular character in the Pokemon world. Now sell it. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. He could have made like $200,000 off of this easy. And he's like, I don't want to do it.
Wait, is that still happening? No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does it still go? Oh shit. Okay.
What, Pokemon cards?
No, the show.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, they got.
I just watch YouTube clips.
Well, dude, here's the thing. I would have cashed in on all my old Nintendo shit, but it all got sent to the Philippines the moment I outgrew it. I had all that shit, dude. The original, look up how much the original Pikachu, Hey You Pikachu N64 goes for nowadays on eBay. I had that. Now it's in a Filipino landfill. I had all that stuff, dude. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
A fun story about Filipino landfill. There was this thing. There is this big story in Canada a couple years ago where we were sending our garbage to them, and in sea cans.
Just the Filipino race is so agreeable. Like, yes, Canada, you can bring your trash here. It's okay.
Well,
it's
they have
shit all over our country.
They have recycling plants there,
Yeah.
so we were supposed to send plastic to them, but we sent 2 sea cans or however many it was full of just rotting garbage. And we had agreed to take it back for 7 years. So across like 3 administrations, we agreed to take it back. And who was it? Duterte, the guy who came in who started killing all the drug dealers. Yeah. He said, if you don't take it back now, there's going to be war. So I went out and did street interviews about that on my interview channel, got 300,000 views, but that was the first time I started getting death threats. Filipino death threats. You come to the Philippines, I'll kill you. You don't want to fight with the Philippines. This is propaganda. You need to do your research. Just like the most hate I've ever gotten. And it was
Andrew, you do not want this smoke with the Philippines. Okay? We'll come to Canada. Okay? I know it's cold. We bring a jacket. Okay?
One of them said, if you ever come to the Philippines and there's a war going on, I will find you and kill you. And that was a Facebook message.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's hardcore. You struck a nerve. It's hardcore out there, dude. No, like motherfuckers die every day in the Philippines, dog. That's why I'm not going. I'm never going to the Philippines.
I mean,
Home
I
in Japan.
would have been down. One of my homies moved out there from San Francisco. One of my friends from San Francisco moved there, and he's still collecting. He's renting out his room in San Francisco and collecting like $2,500 a month, and living in the Philippines and traveling around Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Living
The
the
cost
dream.
of living is, dude. You can live like a fucking boss out there. That's what my dad's gonna do.
Yeah, but it got him in trouble because now he's got like two or three kids with 2 or 3 different baby mamas because he's throwing around his money and pretending. It's like, dude, you got fired from Uber, bro. That's basically what happened. He got fired from Uber for refusing to drive like a long trip or something, doing creepy stuff. Anyways, I digress. But he got up. He's just collecting his rent
Uber
money.
driver moves to the Philippines and busts hella nuts in Filipino women, and now has a bunch of bastard kids.
Yep, that's basically.
And he's American, so all his baby mamas think he's a baller, but he's just like a normal ass dude.
Yeah, he's just
collecting stimulus checks.
I don't know if he's collecting stimulus checks, but I should hit him up after this. Well, shout out to
definitely getting
Mike.
stimulated for sure, dude. If he's living in the Philippines, bro.
No, I was thinking of Thai lady boys, so we'll move on. Florida releases 4 examples of critical race theory textbook content rejected from public schools. So some of the stuff is pretty weird. So this is in a math book, I believe, where they're talking about which races are the most racist, and which age groups. So apparently almost half of all people over 65 are racist, and they have, if it's less than 15, little or no bias, 15 to 35, slight bias, 35 to 65, moderate bias. So you can see, apparently
this all sounds made
to
up.
44, of course it is. 35 to 44 is somehow the least racist age group. I'm not sure why. So they're even saying that the children themselves, a third of them are racist, which is insane to tell a small child. 1 in 3 of you hates each other for your skin color. And then they have by race over here, or
according to this
affiliation.
According to this chart, I'm a senior citizen.
Racial affiliation, of course, you're very liberal, you're least likely to be racist, and moderately conservative, you're just off the charts here.
Nice.
And then and neutral, you're not racist at all. I don't know how that works. So
I don't see color, man. I don't see it. It's just that guy. I mean, you could be black, you could be brown, purple, orange.
It's not like Theo Vaughn.
That's that.
A math book or something. Yeah, a math book says, "What, me racist?" More than 2 million people have texted their racial prejudice using an online version of the implicit. So the implicit bias test is literally they flash things on the screen, and you're supposed to be able to tell if you have a bias, if you have a negative feeling. So they'll flash a black guy on the screen, and if you press that, you have a negative feeling. I'm serious. That's what it is. Because they
show him the picture, yells the N-word immediately. I failed.
Because people always used to point to this test in Australia where they had like 200 something people that go on a bus, and if the bus driver asked them for their pass or something, or watched their them put the change in there, they had racial bias. And then they used another one which was sending job applications in with black names as opposed to white names with the same credentials. I don't know how you monitor that,
like Deontay or Shaniqua, I guess is the classic one, right? Anything with a D, you got to put the D in front, like
D apostrophe.
Yeah, D apostrophe.
I-U-S at the end, Javarius.
Yeah.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Hydroponius.
Most groups average between slight and moderate bias, so everyone's racist. But differences amongst groups by age, by political identification are intriguing. And then we get in. They have a formula for it. It looks like, which is really strange.
I don't even know. I don't. As an Asian, I couldn't calculate that formula, brother. I'm just looking at that, dude. I'm just like, well, dude, if I got to do all this math, then you're fucking racist, dude. All right, how you gonna expect me to do all this fucking math, dude?
Yeah, you really put on the accent there when you're
I know.
Trying to sound stupid. Language objectives. Students identify the next successive number to 5 when counting by stating the number. I don't know what this means.
This reminds me of that
you build
meme.
A proficiency of social awareness by empathizing with classmates. Is that really how you learn math? By counting the people you empathize with?
I don't know.
Pretty weird.
I learned how to just basically have a perspective on all races by hanging out with fucking every single one of them. I've hung out with almost every race, dude.
Yeah, you don't need any diversity training. Pay some lady $3,000 to tell you that like black women are the most important thing, and you can't even question. She could tell you that 1 + 1 is 11, and you can't question it. Otherwise, you're a racist. But this reminds me of that meme that I saw last week. I think where it's a guy. He's like, it says, "First day at Harvard University," and they're like, "What is 1 + 1?" And he's like, "Oh, I got it. It's 2." And she's like, "Incorrect. It's racial equality." And this is what this reminds me of. It's like, this has nothing to do with math. They're just squeezing in racist or anti-racist stuff everywhere they can possibly find it. It's insane. And it also makes sense as to why kids are stupid now, right? They're not even being taught. They're being taught about, why should a kid know what racial bias is and what pansexual is? It's like, dude, you wasted that time. There's so many. You could have taught the kid how to throw a baseball, how to shoot a basketball, how to actually add, subtract, divide, multiply, all the real stuff. But you wasted time telling him that math equations are racist and that implicit bias is everywhere. It's like, why did you waste so much time? But there's obviously some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy theory that's meant to make us all dumb, and it's been going on for decades. So is what it is. I guess we just have to have fun at this point and enjoy it.
I think it's going to make kids more racist.
That's probably true.
For sure.
That's probably what's going to happen is that the kids are going to like befriend every race, and then they're just going to casually throw slurs at each other, just like the way when we grew up. You're just bringing it back.
I learned about racial harmony when I played basketball in high school, and all my black teammates picked on me. That's what I learned about that. Eric, I'm carrying it over to our relationship.
Man, Andrew, stop traveling, boy. You traveling. You got to dribble that ball, boy. You got to dribble that shit, player. You can't
The thing about black guys and
like
Canadian, thing about Canadian black guys is that we all sound the same.
No matter dribble that ball, eh?
Pretty much. No, it was more so like I get up to go to the bathroom, and then you come back and all your stuff is sprawled out everywhere in the bleachers. So Eric, that's.
We had back in 8th grade. I went to a mostly black school. There was a couple white kids, a couple Filipinos out in Oakland, California, and I can recall we did make fun of the white kid on the basketball team. It wasn't like, we weren't racist. It was just like funny. It's like there was the first time.
Racism's funny to you, Eric?
It was the first time that I think I had encountered a Jewish person. I didn't know what that was at that time, and I was like, "What's that? Like,
who's that? Pokemon?"
And this is gonna sound awful, but I promise it's true.
What is it?
He smelled terrible. It's like he hadn't yet discovered deodorant, I think. So we were all like sweaty and like had already, had our Old Spice and all sorts of things. But I won't mention his name. I'm 100% sure he's watching right now. But for whatever reason, he smelled terrible and he wasn't really good at basketball. But we're talking about like 7th, 8th grade. So, I didn't think it was racist at the time. I was like, dude, why does this kid stink? He's the only one that stinks. Everybody else.
So you had a musty Jew in school growing up, and you didn't know how to handle it.
That's exactly what happened.
Musty Jew.
We had a Serbian guy who do the Axe shower in the hallway. So it seems like no matter where you are in the world, there's somebody showering themselves in Axe body spray by their locker or something. No matter.
Is that stuff still around?
I don't know. The commercials though were the best. It's like if you put on this extremely generic scent, women will lust after you. Yeah, the recommended amount is the whole can, basically, and then everybody will think you stink that way. This article from Rebel News, which I work for, I'm sure you know.
Full disclosure.
So when the whole protests were going on in Ottawa with the truckers and everything, we published, I forget who wrote the article, but we published these leaked text message from the RCMP, and for American viewers, that's like basically just the feds, you can call them, kind of like the FBI. They had a group chat laughing about it.
They're corrupt like our FBI, it looks like.
Everybody's corrupt, Eric. Okay. I can't give you exact information without getting sued by somebody. No. So they had these text messages in a group chat leaked where they're laughing about it, leave some for us, that sort of stuff. Generic, laughing at protesters being trampled by horses, So they say, allegedly, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And now it turns out that after we found the ATIP, which is like a Canada's version of a Freedom of Information Act request, it turns out they were monitoring people just for talking about this. So they sent hundreds of frantic emails and messages to social media teams, and they wanted to delete any promotional postings the agency had used featuring officers involved in the leaked chats. So basically, the people who were talking about it, they took them out of all their PR stuff. If we scroll down a bit, they named the people who they monitored. Fox News' Greg Ree and Tucker Carlson. True North is a Canadian company, so Cosman is a good guy. Andrew Lawton's the CEO. National Post, which is a big newspaper up here. Kean Bexley, who used to work for our company, and then Ian Miles Chong, who's a writer, and Ezra Levant, the CEO, and even independent reporter Benny Johnson. So they started monitoring their Twitters and their social media accounts and screenshotted them and shared them around. It's as like a PR strategy to watch what people are saying about them. Long story short is they basically use government money to monitor Twitter accounts. And this isn't the first time they've done stuff like this. They've sent money to like American universities to like do a study on us. Recently, they handed out this certification to Canadian news companies to allow them to get tax breaks. So like if you signed up for a premium like version, an online version of a news company, people could get that written off their taxes, like get a tax credit for us. But they spent time and a whole team going through our page saying why we shouldn't be allowed to have a tax credit for our viewers. It's just like they spend so much time on us, and people like to think that we're this gigantic corporation and that we're sitting and plotting. That's another thing people get about us too. They think that we're sitting in a room and we're plotting, we're putting up websites far in advance, events are staged. Like people don't realize like the girl who puts up a URL is like 5'1" and like 100 pounds. They envision it as this giant machine that's developing evil plans. So it's really weird to have the government monitoring people in your company. I just want to say, why not me? Why am I not good enough?
Yeah, you're not good enough. But this reminds me of sorry if I don't know if you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it reminds me of the Donkey Brains episode where they're like, well, you don't have a certificate saying that you don't have donkey brains, so we have to assume you have the donkey brains. It's like you just created this so you could eliminate me from the running. And it's also a little bit strange that can we tie this into why they're freaking out so hard about Elon Musk trying to buy the platform so they won't be able to maybe get away with doing things like this if Elon is authentic. We still don't know. He wants to, put brain chips in people and all sorts of stuff. So there's a gray area with Elon. I don't know how much we can trust the world's richest man, but I have a feeling that they wouldn't be able to get away with stuff like this if Elon gets control of Twitter, and of course if Elon is authentic in his desire for free speech and maybe like not so much bias. They're gonna come after you like we see with this libs of TikTok thing. They dox her, and what's the woman's name? Taylor Lorenz, who was literally like 6 weeks earlier crying on television about her getting doxxed, and then she does the same exact thing. And it's just Twitter is a cesspool, bro. Like I've
never had one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Twitter doesn't really like comedians these days. I remember David Spade saying like Twitter's a great way to work out like jokes and see how funny they really are, because you're literally just it's up to everybody's interpretation almost via text. But I don't see any comedian really doing anything other than just posting stuff on there, links to their stuff. Ryan Long posts his sketches on there, but you could find them somewhere else. You can find
Is Joe Rogan still on Twitter?
Yeah, but he does like. Does that have an impact on his viewership or anything at all? I think Twitter is for psychotic people and people who are getting news sources. For some reason, everybody in the news has Twitter, and like that's mostly what it is. If I'm not involved with news, what would I need Twitter for? This is how I give myself a pass,
I don't know, bro. I also recently, I forget the story I was reading. It was maybe about a year or so ago now, and I genuinely did not realize that there's porn on Twitter. Like you can't say that you can't call Caitlyn Bruce, but you could literally I found look, I'll be honest, there was like this 50-year-old woman. Oh, it was the OnlyFans thing. It's like this old, 50. Look, I'm getting old too, so I'm not gonna shade a 50-year-old woman, but it was this woman who was very distraught that OnlyFans was maybe gonna get rid of porn, and she took to Twitter to cry about how they were rug pulling her income by not letting her.
Could you imagine being a 50-year-old woman and that's the only thing, like, you haven't accomplished anything financially in your life? You're like, I have to show my pussy on the internet. You can't do this to me.
Exactly. It's actually it's sad, bro. Like she got kids and stuff, and you're on Twitter, like, and I was like, whoa, I didn't. Weird. Because you can't get that stuff on Instagram or no, they kick you.
It's weird that they allow everything like that, but misgendering somebody gets you banned.
You can't even put porn on Tumblr anymore, right? Like Tumblr went by the wayside because people were using it for porn, and they said no more porn, and now it's pretty much gone. So it was surprising to me.
I guess
I just didn't know that
sex workers,
Sex
workers, please.
Don't misname sex workers. They're people too. Let's play. This is an old thing from Nelk, which more Canadians, you guys, but it's just so timely with, I told Michael asked me what we're going to be talking about. I was like, transgender stuff will probably come up
every week.
The last 3 months. If it's not Leah Thomas, it's trans prisoners impregnating each other. So this is very topical.
Trump, right? I'm part of the Transgender for Trump movement. Would you say I'm a male or a female?
I guess whatever you want. Trick question.
Male or a female?
You look like you're a male.
So you should never assume someone's gender. I'm actually neither. I actually identify as a cheetah. Okay. The cheetah population is like very, very rapidly declining. So there's not many of like us cheetahs out there left, right? Most of us are located in South Africa, some of us in Northern Africa, and then some in East Asia. So that's why I started the Transgender for Trump movement.
How are these girls so paralyzed that they can't disagree with this guy? That's what I want to know.
Dude, the brainwashing, bro. They're brainwashed. They're at university. They can't make
any answer the wrong answer, and then you silence people. That's how you get people to shut the fuck up. You put them in a position where anything they say, if they stick up for themselves in any way, then they're wrong. They'll be punished. They'll be
racist.
Punished.
Yep, you're out of here.
This is a social conditioning that's going to last over the next 10 or 20 years till eventually it's like, get on these buses. We're all going to work. We owe China a lot of money, guys. Okay. And don't you dare say anything to them.
And you'll all be
that's what I think it is. It's just a long form mental conditioning of just like bowing down and being a bitch. I'm like, dude, you're a dude. You're fucking with me. Like the inability, the kids nowadays having the inability of knowing when somebody's like obviously trolling or fucking with them. Dude.
Yeah.
Like you're being manipulated.
But jokes aren't cool. You can't joke.
Yeah.
Like it's not even cool to joke.
Even the ability to just be like, nah, and then just walk away. Like that, they can't even do that. They're standing there, they're listening to what he has to say and taking it seriously. Yeah. No matter how they
do you think when these guys, however many millions of subscribers they have, like how many times they've come across people that are like, get the out of here, bro. You're trolling. Like they must have a bunch of that just never sees the light of day. I would assume that like some people have to be seeing through this. It's not like they can't go out there and bat 100, right? Like they must be 50-50 of people that are like, nah, dog, what are you talking about?
Guaranteed you can get a video like this out of any white girl wearing high-waisted jeans with her ankles showing like that. Like that is just like a clear telltale, like, I mean, I guess. Look at her, dude. Look at her fit, bro. Look at the she's got like the little poofy bracelet. Like all the girls nowadays are dressing like the girls in the 90s. Like it's just these girls. They
every girl in my office. Every girl in my office is wearing combat boots. I go through the office. There's
bitch, you ain't going to war. Why do you wear those?
Like, well, one day they'll be like short, and then the next day they're shorter than me, and I start to notice. Then I noticed that all of them were all wearing it. 5 girls the other day, all wearing combat boots this thick on the bottom, and I'm just like, and they all have the high-waisted jeans. One of them, shout out Natasha, who wears leather pants.
Nice. They can't talk, right? They just run fast and like kill antelopes and shit. But I'm one of the only cheetahs that can actually speak and communicate with you, right? So I feel like it's my duty, since I can speak as a cheetah and I'm also fast, I feel like it's my duty to just tell people to vote for Trump because he's doing a lot for us cheetahs. I'm glad you guys are going to vote.
Okay.
I'm a cheetah if you want. I can show you guys how fast I am.
damn it, dude.
Fast, right?
That's
And
good.
There's another one I'll bring up here really quickly. if
It's
I can.
ridiculous, bro. Like they can't. Yeah, they can't stand up to it. They can't say, because if they were to acknowledge that this guy's not a cheetah, then they would also have to acknowledge that he can't be a woman, right? Like, and that just is not gonna fly in their frame of mind. And
I've just been using I've been using it to my advantage. Like I use a women's restroom now. Like I'll just piss all over the seat of the women's restroom. And I've been encountered a couple times, like a southern, I live in Virginia. So when you see a male, it's pretty conservative out here. So when you see a male in a woman's restroom, an elderly white woman is going to say something to me. And I'll just be like, well, ma'am, this is what I identify as. Because I went in to take a piss and she's in the stall. I can hear her. She goes, oh, so we're just going to go ahead and use the ladies' bathroom. Is that what we're doing now? And I was like, ma'am, I identify as a woman. And she didn't know what to fucking say. So like that video, I kind of used it to just, dude, take a piss, bro. Let me take a piss. I don't want to look at that. I just need to use a toilet, dude. I just need to use
you still have a mullet?
Fuck yeah. You can't see it right now because, dude, I look like Asian Jack Nicholson when I don't have my hat on because I'm balding. Hold on. I'll do it. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll get the thumbnail here. This is why, you might as well be a Canadian with this haircut and this attitude.
Yeah. Hold on.
You're basically like every Canadian white guy aged 18 to 30.
It's getting long.
Hockey.
Actually, it's way better. Fuck that hat, dude.
All right, here's the second part of this.
You think I'm a male?
Yeah, well, you have a certain tone of voice.
Guess what? You shouldn't assume someone's gender.
Yeah, I know.
I'm none of them. I actually
I
identify
know.
as a salmon. Some people mistake me for a river trout, but I'm actually a salmon. I'm part of the Transgenders for Trump movement. So I don't know if you know, but a lot of us are being overfished right now. People are coming for us in the salmon community, right? Especially out east, a lot of us are being overfished. Have you heard about Trump's Animal Protection Act? It's doing a lot for us salmon to give back to us, right?
Approach.
And I'm one of the only salmon that can actually speak English. Most of them just swim and some of them lay eggs and stuff, but I'm one of the only ones that can actually speak and communicate for you. So
This one's funnier
I feel like
than
on
the
behalf
cheetah
of
for sure.
myself as a salmon to speak on behalf of the other salmons and help us protect our society. If you want to see me swimming and all my other salmon, make sure you vote for Trump, okay? I'll be swimming. I gotta go fuck off to the river now because it's egg laying season. Do you want to see my breaststroke?
Take away your privilege.
Good form, right?
So
Do you guys think that in China, if you go up to a person and you just start saying, hey, isn't the president the greatest president anywhere in the world? Do you think they'd be paralyzed in the same way if you just start praising? You can't say anything bad about the Chinese government. Do you think they would just be paralyzed if somebody, maybe a government official or something, came up? It's like, tell me all about how great this country is and how great the president is. Well, it's a wonderful president. I love being in China, and I've seen that in Avi Amini's video. He's an Australian guy, so there's a lot of people who go there for school from China, and they just say it's a great country. It allows us to come here, so why wouldn't it be great? We could travel abroad, then come back, and they say there's nothing that the Chinese government does wrong, and they say no, and they say, what about punishing people for speaking out against the government or speaking out against this or that? And they say, why would you want to? Why would you want to speak out against the government? It's great. So I feel like that's the same thing here, and I felt more so after I watched a documentary on how Mao took power. People were just so paralyzed to say anything and to stand up for anything that they just got bowled over. Children would be carrying the book of Mao, and then if you weren't carrying the book, what, you don't love the leader? Or the teacher says anything, oh, you don't love the leader, and then the children all beat up their teacher. That's what I think. If there was less resistance, and especially in America with Republicans or basically anybody who disagrees with that stuff, no matter where you align yourself, but if there was less resistance, there'd be so much more. And I'm sure it happens on college campuses. What, you don't believe a man could be a woman? And then it just escalates from there. And I think this is a few years ago, this video, but
yeah, this is old.
I think there's a lot of places, I'm guessing, Berkeley, California, where they burn down a building if they don't like the person that comes to speak there.
Which is a kind of a strange thing. Is that's kind of how I started. Okay, the individual mandate back with Obama, that's what was okay, I don't trust this guy. It was all okay, all right, you guys got me. Vote for a black guy, seems fun. The individual mandate kind of got me thinking. I was like, oh, I don't trust this guy. And then it was when Berkeley Antifa was burning things down because or they weren't. It wasn't burning down yet, but they were very angry. It was getting there, and that's when I was actually introduced to Ben Shapiro, and I was like, why are they so angry? And my buddy told me, he's like, oh, Ben Shapiro's going to speak, and what's the other like old white lady, or she's not that old, but like the white lady that they all hate too.
Christina Hoff Sommers, the
No,
feminist woman.
No, Christina Hoff Sommers is like a nice lady.
Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter, and they were chanting about how Ben Shapiro was a Nazi, and that's what opened my eyes. I was like, dude, this little guy with the yarmulke, you're calling him a Nazi, and that's when it all started.
My favorite, the Jewish Nazis. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that I get. I let's see, two of my bosses are Jewish.
Oh yeah.
Our social media guy is Jewish, and then you can go like to the other professions in the company, like Dominicans, Portuguese, like it's everything at our company, and we're still not. And people still, it's way less now than it was. I don't know, before I started working there, but you still get people. It's like, oh, you would support that. You guys are Nazis. It's like, so when I have to go ask my boss something, and like, and he's Jewish, at what point does the Nazism come in there? Is what I want to know.
It's insane, bro. It's insane. And there's another thing too.
When I was Azov Battalion, by the way.
Oh yeah, which I think Elad had some footage of like a pro Azov. Anyways, it's weird too because when I was working in Queens out in Long Island City, and I realized that a bunch of the kids, like I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it was like 75% of the people we rented to were Chinese American or Chinese students that they get their school paid for, so they'd fly out to New York and do whatever 3, 4, 5 years of school, and then they would go back. And there was a big language barrier. We didn't know too much. We were just trying to close these deals, you know. But these kids would leave the apartments in a wreck because they knew it was like,
oh yeah,
I'm just here to go to school. And then we would, like, I saw some of the gnarliest things when these some of these kids would move out. But one girl that actually worked at the building with us, she actually had some very harsh things to say about the Chinese government, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't go back now. They sent me here." Like, so she was like, I don't want to say a fugitive, but she was like, she did not like it at all. She worked with us. She was like, I'm not going back. Like, it's completely corrupt, basically. And it was just funny.
Chinese girl.
Yeah, Chinese girl.
A Chinese girl, like an activated Chinese girl, like fucking like not like trying to unplug from that Chinese matrix, dude. Dude, I'm terrified of China, bro. Have you guys seen that video? Like, there's clips from this reality show of like Chinese CEOs and managers like coming over to American companies, and they're basically having like conversations about us. Where like they're like, Americans are really lazy and they like to complain a lot. They're nothing like Chinese people. They don't work hard and they don't stay late. And it's like all the things that in America that people fight for, that liberals fight for, are like super fucking it's counterintuitive to the way Chinese people think. Like, dude, in America, if you stay late and you work hard and you work basically off the clock and you're trying to get shit ready for tomorrow, people kind of look at you like, what are you doing, bro? You're not even getting paid to be here. You're working for free at this point. And in China, that's like, yeah, that's a good dude, man. That's exactly what we want. We want people who are more willing to work for free. That's what we want. Well, people who are like, oh, cool with slavery. That's what we want. Dude, are you cool with slavery? Dude, come to China, dude. We got plenty of it, dude. We got gang and slavery, dude. You can work at the Apple factory. We've got suicide nets. So if you ever want to just try, you can jump out the window and get caught like a trapeze artist. But my thing about
Jordans or something.
Have you seen Chinese TikTok versus American TikTok? Like, it's such the culture is so much different, dude. Like, American TikTok is like Fortnite dancing and dumb shit. If you go to Chinese TikTok, it's like a guy doing oil changes with his raw hands, like diesel oil going all down his arm and stuff. He's like wiping his forehead, fucking drinking water, busting his ass. Fucking elderly Chinese woman's like back is hurting from like cutting some like working some fields, and then he stays. He makes her a scythe out of like straight pure wood and like carves it and gives it to her, and she's like so grateful and stuff. It's all about like working hard and pleasing your elders. Like, that's all Chinese TikTok is. So I feel like they're just a hyper conservative people.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant move for them to make something so popular and then push whatever they want here, because they do boost the stuff that is degenerative. But I think a person sitting there and saying I have 7 different personalities in my head is not something that should be elevated to the top of somebody's algorithm, but it is. Or a person who's like, you ever seen those ones that are like vamp people, or people that dress up as werewolves, and it's all stop motion and flashlighting, and they talk about how they're going to bite somebody to some weird
they wear the
evanescence
fake,
or something.
Yeah, they wear the fake fangs, and they do like the fade transfer.
Yeah.
Like
wake me up inside.
I'm a gay vampire. Wake me up, dude.
I am not familiar with TikTok at all. I don't know.
Just really type in TikTok vamp cringe into your local YouTube.
I mean, I just see the who's the one that's
lines from lip syncing lines from Twilight.
Yeah, over my head. There's the one the guy that's going viral right now with the 5 o'clock shadow and the eye makeup, and he's like, "Oh, that's your definition of a woman." It's like I don't know the guy's name, but he's
feel
very
like a woman.
He's very like it just. I mean, I don't know if it's just for attention, if it's an actual delusion, or like how many of these people actually believe this stuff? I mean,
all the unfuckables of the world needed a platform. Therefore, transgenderism was born.
I tend to agree.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean you're right, bro. Like that's what it is.
A guy who wants to become a pretty girl for attention.
Dude, I'd be a hot girl, dude.
But it's the 5 o'clock
there's still
shadow.
time
You're not
for
even
you.
trying.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
not even trying. Like throw us a bone. You know what I mean? Like you could go Blair
Money
White.
fixes. Yeah, it just proves to the point that like money fixes everything. Like, have you seen a poor transgender person? It's not going to look as good as a rich transgender person, and that's the inequalities that I want to bring to this podcast. Is why are all these rich transsexuals? You know what I mean, dude? Check your privilege, bro. All right, not everybody has facial reconstruction money. Okay, I can't get a banging set of tits. I'm just gonna have to fucking mix and match. All right, I can't afford the 24-pack, bud.
Or you got to join the military and get it done,
for free,
especially in
yeah.
Canada.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right. I remember my dad was in the military. He was outraged about that shit.
Oh, sorry, I missed my.
It's pretty weird that like that was a controversial thing. It's like, do you really want somebody who requires therapy and multiple surgeries to feel okay or feel normal? Do you really want them worrying about that while they're trying to, not die? I don't think
I got
so.
denied for having ADD, but this dude gets a free ride. I had to take Adderall when I was a kid. I had to take Adderall. I couldn't join the military,
bro.
But this guy,
there's still time. Join the Canadian military.
No, there's absolutely no reason. I mentioned this I think a long time ago, but when I first got to New York, I worked at a restaurant that was let's just say they were overrepresenting the transgender community. We're talking about a staff of like 30 people, a nice big restaurant, bar, kitchen, coffee, the food was actually delicious. Shout out to that restaurant. The food was actually really good, but they were overrepresenting the transgender community. I think it's because the owner's sister is a conservative, so she tweeted something about transgenders or something on Twitter. So they were sort of overcorrecting. But the point I'm trying to make is they hired too many transgender people. It got incredibly awkward. They were talking about their hormone regimens. And I'm standing there.
Was this a restaurant?
Yeah, it's called Meckelberg's.
Welcome to Meckelberg's.
Yeah.
How many are your table? How many are at your table?
May I see they?
Shadow. Welcome
and
to
they even had the
Meckelberg's.
pins. They had the pins. They asked us. They didn't force you to wear pins, but they had bro. This was a long time ago. We're talking
flare.
Like,
you mean?
Wear
your 20
pronoun
pieces
pins.
Of flare?
Pronoun pins.
Pronoun flare. Okay.
Yeah. And so the point I'm trying to make is the restaurant, as delicious as the recipes were, they were no slouches in the kitchen. I will admit that. But the front of the house was a complete mess because of these this emotional group of people. And
a recipe for disaster.
So imagine taking that and putting it into a military setting. It's not gonna end well, bro. Sorry, the food was delicious. Though. Shout out.
I think we've run out of time here today.
We only did a couple minutes on transgenders today. I feel like we didn't go hard enough. Sorry.
That's weird. Michael Ridley's on Instagram at racial
that's me.
epithet sweat. Oh, audio version, so I'll say chinky sweat for the audio listeners. That was Eric saying that, by the way.
Chinky sweat. That's me.
Should get me banned.
It's great.
Caught me off guard, man. I didn't. I'm happy that you guys brought me on, dude. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Hell yeah, dude. I need to take it in for a tune-up, dude. I need to take it in for a tune-up, dude. It's due for an oil change.
So go ahead and follow him on Instagram there. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
in
it.
a couple of months, I'll bring you on Rebel News with somebody else too, so we can get more eyes on your account. You're hilarious, dude. Anything
Thank
you want
you.
to say before we let you go?
I will say this. I'm sorry about the transgender unfuckable thing. I don't know who's gonna watch this, but I'm pretty
He's
sure that'll be
apologizing.
clipped. That'll be clipped later and used against me. But it's all
Media
good.
matters, yeah. Media matters.
But at that point, I'll double down and I'll identify as a woman at that point. So they won't know what to do when they see that clip because I'll be in full geisha garb when they're trying to cancel me. If I ever get canceled ever, I'll just always be in full geisha garb. I'm talking like Star Wars 1 with the little red line of lipstick right here and just pure white face. An Asian
You guys trying to
face.
cancel somebody as they're recreating the story of Mulan? Unbelievable.
Dude,
Can I just say though the line
Yes.
just really quickly, the line about being unfuckable is true simply because we don't know how this works
Wow.
for them. Well, I mean, how does it work? This is the
Wow.
question that you're not allowed to ask. I mean, how does it work?
That's
Did you have
right.
bottom
Can't
surgery? You
ask.
can't ask that question. Are you? I mean, look. Sorry. I mean,
It's okay.
yes, it's mean. It's a mean thing to say, and it might hurt somebody's feelings. But it's a fair question. Like, how does this actually work? Right?
I mean, I think just for the record, man, if that's what you want to do, you know, I mean, if that's what you want to be, go ahead. I want to be a stand-up comedian, and people doubted that. So, I mean, you want to be a woman? I doubt it. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see you in 40 years. How's that? You know, you're gonna keep up with the maintenance of your new vagina? I mean, you know, if you gotta maintain it, dude. It's like a classic car. It's like, do you have the money? Do you have the resources to maintain it? Do you have a garage to put it in? You know what I mean? Is it insured? Is it bonded? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, that's my thing is I'll see you in 40 years and I believe in you. You know what I mean? I think everyone's full of shit. So I'm just like, I
want to join there should be like a senior MBA, right? Like, you know, they have the senior golf tour. Like, I want there to be a senior MBA so I can get in the MBA in my twilight years. That's all what every black kid's always wanted to join the MBA. It's obviously you're going to do that. Well, it's true, right? You come out and they give you a little basketball as soon as you break the birth canal. They give you a basketball. So the point I'm trying to make is obviously I can't keep up with these young kids, these 22-year-old kids. They're dunking on people, they're flying through the air. But like, let's do like an older one, so you know the 40 pluses can go join, and maybe 50 plus because I'm gonna need some time to train. But that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna follow my dream. You guys follow your dreams, and I'll see you at the top.
So, like, in conclusion, I'm just gonna say, dude, Andrew, thank you for having me on. I'll do this again. It was great. I love my boy's setup. It's like really like good and professional. I got the little mood lighting and shit, dude. It would have been me on an iPhone, like from the dick pic angle, just like, hey, what's good, dude? Yeah, grateful to be here, cock in hand. Like that's what I was like. I drove an hour to get to this studio to be on this for you guys. So I really appreciate you guys having me on. Just hit me up next time you want me on, dude, and we'll do the thing.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank you for
follow me. Whoever's watching this, follow me on Instagram at Chinky Sweat. I'm a Virginia Beach-based comedian, and I'll be moving to Austin, Texas here by the end of the year, probably. So you'll probably see a lot more of me later on.
Awesome. All right, thanks everybody on Getter, YouTube, Twitter, and everybody listening on Spotify and all the other crazy crap that we signed up for, like Google Podcasts. If you're on Google Podcasts, then we love you. See you next week.
Turn it up, Jordan.